Okay, A's fans, let's take a look at how the weekend went.
You are Locked On A's, your daily Oakland A's podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, A's fans. Welcome to Locked On A's. This is the podcast where we talk about the Oakland A's all season long as part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it is your team every day. I am your interim host, your guest host, pinch hitting for yet another week. My name is Paul Francis Sullivan, but please call me Sully. I have been a baseball podcaster for many, many years, and I have been part of the Locked On Podcast Network for the last 5 seasons. This is my 6th season. I've been a guest. Actually, I've guest hosted this show before, too. So I lived in the Bay Area for many, many years. I've been a bit of a historian, especially in matters of the A's, both Philadelphia, Kansas City, and Oakland, and I guess eventually Sacramento and maybe Las Vegas. Not 100% sure. Neither are you. Nobody is at this point. Today's episode of Locked On A's is brought to you by eBay Motors. From brakes to exhaust kits and beyond, eBay Motors has over 122 million parts to keep your ride or die alive. With all the parts you need at all the prices you want, it's easy to bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay guaranteed fit only available to U.S. customers. But we're going to be talking about the A's all season long, and we're going to try to be positive about it as much as we can. We know they're gone. We know they're going to leave. For some of you who live in Sacramento, you may be happy to see them coming in, or maybe bittersweet. But we're going to be trying to focus as much as we can on the stuff that's happening on the field, which, let's face it, over the last few games hasn't been that bad. So follow us at Locked On A's on Twitter, or whatever it's called now, on Instagram. I am your pal Sully. I'm at Sully Baseball on Twitter, Sully Baseball Podcast on Instagram, and check out my other podcast, Locked On MLB, where we talk about the whole picture. Although when there's something that I like that we did on this show, I'll put a clip of that on there. I am going to include part of the show that I did on Friday, where I talked about basically telling you all to let's put at least some of our bitterness aside and go to an A's game before they're gone, because the bitterness will fade away, but the desire to see a game in Oakland will always be there. And one of the things that I said to you on Friday was the A's just won a series in Detroit and in Texas. They're coming back home and they're playing the Nats. The Nats are not a very good team. So show up while they're playing well. Enjoy it. You only have there's fewer than 80 games that will ever be played in Oakland. Go to some of them, and if they're winning and it's too early, I'm not the fun police. Well, what we're doing in this episode is we're going over the 3 games that were played over the weekend. Pulling the curtain back a little bit, I'm recording this part on Saturday morning. The only game I know that has been played this weekend was the one that was played on Friday night. By the end of this episode, you know what I don't know, which is how do they do on Saturday and Sunday? Saturday will be segment 2. Sunday and the full analysis of the weekend will be number 3. But let's have some fun, because Friday was a lot of fun. And 5,777 of you took my advice and showed up. And there were 5,777 Oakland fans who had a fun night, who went to the Coliseum, who did not punish themselves. The team has already punished you, and no amount of protests are going to keep them here or build a stadium at Howard Terminal or in the parking lot or even in Fremont for that matter, or San Jose. That ship has sailed like those tanker ships that show up to Howard Terminal. They'll drop off those boxes like the second season of The Wire. So less than 6,000 of you showed up, but less than 6,000 of you had a really fun night last night because the A's came to play. They showed up after those two solid series, against teams that right now would be playoff teams. They handed the ball to Paul Blackburn, and he was really good. He pitched into the 7th inning, didn't let up a run, allowed 5 hits and 2 walks, and Adams and McFarland had to bail him out of the 7th. But you know what they did? And Butler hit a home run. And it was 1-0 after 3. I thought Butler hit in the second. No, he hit in the 3rd inning. So it was 1-0. It looked like, oh my God, Blackburn's going to get the win. Blackburn, Sears, things are looking good with their pitching staff. Now, Jimenez, he wound up letting up a game-tying home run in the 9th inning to Jesse Winker. It happens. Jesse Winker got 4 hits yesterday. And lest we forget, this is not the A's of the 70s or the 80s or even the Moneyball. This is a team that is want to let up a big hit from time to time. But in the bottom of the 10th, with the fake runner on second base, I hate the fake runner with every fiber of my being, it was Butler again. Good for Butler. Butler got a little flare into left field, and in came Schumann, the pinch runner. And next thing you know, the A's have won. The A's won a game. And do you know what? For those 5,777 people, I'm not going to lament the empty seats. I'm going to celebrate the filled ones. I'm going to say, good for you. You showed up on what was a chilly Friday night, and you had fun. Cue celebration. I'm not allowed to sing celebration. Why? I don't have the rights to it. But you know the song. So start singing your head. Come on. You were singing it right now. You don't have a lot of chances to have those. The 5,770 people who showed up got a fun walk-off win in extra innings, albeit with a fake runner. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the fun moments you're going to wish you could have in the next bunch of years. And, there was solid defense that was played, good pitching all around, save for the one mistake to Jesse Winker. Good defense being played, as I said. Lawrence Butler got to have the celebration of Cool and the Gang at second base. And next thing you know, what do we have? We have what is called, and I know some of you may not be familiar with this term because it hasn't applied to the A's a lot over the last bunch of years, but it's called a winning streak. It's called momentum. It's called something positive. And who are the A's playing today? Same team. Same freaking team is being played. Is being played. It's the Nats. Not the best team in baseball. And let's go take a look. I'm going to go to baseballreference.com, the single greatest website in the history of the planet Earth. And I'm seeing that the A's, yes, I know it's early, but do you know what? You may not be able to say this again. The A's are better than the Astros. Remember the Rangers, the team the A's just beat at home? Well, the Rangers just had a 12-8 slugfest with the Astros, and the Astros are in dead last place right now. Again, I know it's early, but let's savor these moments when we can. The Astros are 4-11 on a 4-game losing streak. The A's are on a 2-game winning streak. The Astros have a worse run differential than the A's. And let's just put out this scenario. Let's just say the Astros win today. That's possible. Let's say the Angels lose today. They're in Fenway. I mean, the Red Sox aren't good, but they're not that bad, and the Angels aren't that good. And let's also just say that the A's win on Saturday against the Nats. Do you know what that would mean? That would mean the A's would be 1 game out of first place. Now, I know it's insanely early in the season. I know the A's don't have a realistic chance to do piddly-poo, but why not have fun when we can? Why not have fun while it's sitting there? Why not see, 8,000 people? Forget the whole, I'm not putting money in John Fisher's pocket. That's gone. That ship has sailed. Have these moments. Look around at your fellow A's fans who you aren't going to see with this frequency when they're gone and say, want to do it? Want to do it again? Want to have fun here again? That's what I'm saying. This is a rough world. This decade, we're about halfway through this decade, and this decade sucks. And the previous decade didn't win any prizes either. There's been a snowballing of misery and people being angry. And now, thanks to social media and everything, we're constantly bombarded with negative anger. And A's fans have had no shortage of that either. We're in a position where we cannot deny ourselves happiness. About 5,700 people yesterday had happiness. Go to the game. I hope you went. I hope you went. So we're going to take a look. We're going to see what happens on Saturday's game. And if it's another win and a 3-game winning streak for the A's, come on, let's see it happen. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performances, superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your #1 ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need and the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at eBay Motors. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available to U.S. customers. eBay Motors. It's for your ride or die. Yeah, I've been told I'm a competitive person. I have to be right. I have to win. You know, if I'm wrong, like I was about the Shohei Ohtani thing, all right, I'll admit it, but that's rare. I usually win. I gotta win. Okay, fine. I've got a competitive side. And my competitive side is a big fan of Monopoly Go. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's been downloaded over 150 million times. It's a great twist of Monopoly where you play not one, but hundreds of Monopoly boards in crazy locations, building up cities that bring you big, big money. The best part is messing with my friends. I can charge them rent on my iconic properties just like classic Monopoly, but now I could rob their vaults of riches themselves. And the leaderboard showed me who the biggest Monopoly tycoon is. But it's just, you know, I feed my competitive side. I love that. But you can team up with friends and people all around the world in time tournaments and win huge rewards. To get into the game, join your friends. Download Monopoly Go, now free in the App Store or on Google Play. Hey, it's time for the Locked On NFL Mock Draft Live on April 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, streaming on the Locked On Sports Today 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV Channels app. Find the ultimate 6-episode series on April 17th at 7 Eastern Time to hear who the local Locked On experts are picking for every NFL franchise, with live reactions from local college football experts and even the fantasy football angle. From Locked On NFL Mock Draft, watch it on April 17th at 7 Eastern Time, streaming live at Locked On Sports Today 24/7 streaming channel or YouTube at the free Amazon Fire TV Channels app. And just let it be known, I'm expected to go to the 4th round to Seattle. Well, you know, for a minute there on Saturday, I did think the A's were going to come back. When it was 2-0 and Mackenzie Gore was just throwing BBs and striking out 11, I thought, oh man, this is not the A's day. But the A's, you know, started to chip away. They wound up pulling to within 1 run. And, you know, Abraham Toro had a terrific game, and he doubled in Nick Allen there in the 7th. I thought, okay, here we go. Here we go. This is not the Nats of a few years ago. Old friend Sean Doolittle's not coming out of that bullpen. Gore was great. 5 shutout innings, 11 strikeouts, 1 walk. And how many pitches did he? Threw 90 pitches. I don't know why he couldn't go 6 innings. And by the way, this is a big thing. I think the fact that we are having our pitchers go all out, uh, and throw curveballs in the 90s and seeing their elbows blow out. I think we got to throw lighter pitchers on people's arms, not go all out, and learn how to stretch them a little bit. Spencer Strider's going to be out for the year. More pitchers, more great pitchers are going to be out for the year. And I think no small part of the fact that no one's being a sort of innings eating crafty pitcher. Everyone's just trying to huck it as fast as they can, even though off-speed stuff. Their changeup is 90 miles an hour. Anyway, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts, and 90 pitches. God forbid he pitched into the 6th. When I saw he wasn't coming out, I said, okay, great. Here we go. They got the run off of Garcia in the 7th inning. But they just could not get that. Weems inherited a run, and he let him sit and couldn't get that other run in. Boyle and Muller, the law firm of Boyle and Muller, combined for 8 innings, 7 hits, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 runs. For those two, you can't ask for a much better performance than what they pulled off. But the fact of the matter is, it wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough. And Saturday, Toro was great. 3 for 4, drove in the only run, stole a base. I certainly hope you had him on your fantasy team. But alas, was not going. Was not happening. And the A's, their offense was kind of sort of dead. So, obviously you can't win them all. I don't think anyone thought they were going to win them all. But you take a look, there was 3,000 people there today. And even though it was an A's loss, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to guess those 3,000 people had some fun. It's not always about the winning. Sometimes you just want to go, hey, that was a good game. It was a good, exciting game. It just didn't work out the way that you'd hoped. So, it's going to be that kind of year. There's going to be some good days, some bad days, but it wasn't a blowout. The A's showed some heart, and you're going to see what's going to go on the Sunday game. Now, the A's are going to be throwing Wood against Williams. It's not exactly Tom Seaver versus Bob Gibson going out there today. So we're going to see what happens on Sunday to see if they can pull things off. Another interesting thing, though, is the fact is in the West, you did have the Rangers lose. You did have the Angels lose. You did have the Mariners lose. So despite losing and despite falling to 400 and being 5-5 in their last 10, the A's are still tied with the Mariners for 3rd place. And if the Astros should pull another victory out, and if the A's should defeat the Washington Nationals tomorrow, the A's will again pull within 1 game of 1st place. And any day this A's team is in 1st place is fine by me. So let's see what happens. Let's see. I mean, you obviously already know what happens, but the fact of the matter is, let's see what's going to be going on. By the way, it is the 14th day of April that I'm going to be recording this, and this is going to be dropping then. I did mention it's Greg Maddox's birthday. It's also former Brave and former A Greg Myers' birthday, who was part of the famous Moneyball team in 2002 and played in both the 2001 and 2002 division series for the Oakland A's. So happy birthday to Greg Myers. Also, talking Moneyball, it's David Justice's birthday. And we all know that he was paid by the Yankees to play for the 2002 A's and was a positive influence on the team and was a cool part in the movie Moneyball. And, it's also Pete Rose's birthday. And there's really not a big connection to Pete Rose and the Oakland A's, except one thing. Pete Rose flew out to Joe Rudy to end the 1972 World Series, which was the first World Series title for the A's in Oakland. So, hey, There you go there. Any other A's whose birthday today? Well, I'm sure there's one or two more, but I can't quite see them on my thing right there. So, all right, let's see what happens here. We're going to see how the A's do on Sunday. I just think it's important. I mean, first of all, show up to the games. There's only so many left, but just keep playing better than people expect you to play. That's what I'm hoping. And keep winning series. And do you know what? Don't be a pushover. If nothing else, don't be a pushover. So we're going to see what happens. Hopefully the A's are going to win this series and they can move on because St. Louis is coming in. And St. Louis is yet another confused franchise as they're currently in last place in the Central after finishing in last place the year before. Help keep them confused. Everyone circles the A's as an easy win on their schedule. Take that out of their arsenal. Win tomorrow and force the Cardinals to wonder what the heck is going on. Okay, let's bring on the Sunday game. Oh, wow, it's that time of the year where you got to face your money situation. Uncle Sam takes a bite. So let's get straight to the point. You want to grow your portfolio to deal with the rising costs of inflation and pay off your debt, your mortgage. You can't have Shohei pay off your debts. Pretty much anything standing in the way of you and financial freedom. Well, guess what? With Yahoo Finance, you can get access to the news, data, and tools that help you reach that financial freedom. For more than 25 years, Yahoo Finance has been the brand behind every great investor. Whether you're a seasoned investor or you're looking for that extra guidance, Yahoo Finance gives you all the tools and data you need in one place. They are the #1 finance destination, producing a holistic look at the financial news cycle, including breaking news, original editorial perspective, analyst ratings, independent research, customizable charts, and so much more. Securely link your brokerage accounts for a unified view of your wealth, including 401k and other investments. A comprehensive perspective is what sets apart great investors. It's how Yahoo Finance ensures you have the insight to look at your wealth in its entirety. With a community of over 90 million users each month, their real strength is helping you on your way to financial success. For comprehensive financial news and analysis, visit the brand behind every great investor, yahoofinance.com. The #1 financial destination, yahoofinance.com. What is that again? That's yahoofinance.com. Hey, this is a reminder that Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24 streaming channel on YouTube, and now it's available on the Amazon Fire TV and the free Fire TV channel app. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local extras of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today now available on the free Fire TV channels app. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Go out to the ballpark. Think about there was about 8,000 some odd who were there this Sunday, and think about what they just saw. The A's were falling behind. They were down 6-1 going to the bottom of the sixth, and I was thinking about the last part of this podcast, going, all right, I did the optimistic Friday, tried to see the glass half full on Saturday, but they're getting their butts kicked fine. No. This A's team battled back, and despite the fact that Williams on the Nationals was pitching really, really well, there were little holes in the armor in the 6th inning. And then Sully, one batter gets a walk. Then the next batter gets a walk. And chip away, chip away. Did I mention chip away? And then every tiny little thing happens. And then you have the next thing you know, Nevin gets the single. And then the Butler did. He suddenly, when it was 6-3, I was thinking, wait a second. Stop the presses. Suddenly it's a ball game. Wild pitch makes it 6-4. Bases loaded walk. And then Abraham Toro hits that little flare into left. And for a second, I thought, and so did you, we all thought he caught it out there in left field. But no, he trapped it. 2 runs come in to score. But now what do? Jimenez has got to come in, do his job. And then they got fabulous defense in the 8th inning. Great play by Geloff to turn it into a 4-3 double play. And then Lucas Urseg, who went to Menlo College in Atherton. I went to the Menlo School, which was the high school that was attached to Menlo College. So there's a little Menlo pride going on there. He made a play, a little grounder to him, and he just he didn't even throw it. He rolled it over to first base for the final out of the inning. Miller comes in, throws nothing but gas. 1, 2, 3 inning, strikes out everyone he gets there. And with that, the A's, say it with me, have won 3 series in a row. After looking awful, save for a bases loaded or walk to end that game against Cleveland, it looked like all was lost with this A's team, and everyone's going to circle them on the schedule. Detroit circled them on the schedule. Detroit lost the series. Texas circled them on the schedule. Texas lost the series. Washington circled them on the schedule. Washington lost the series. That's 3 series in a row that the A's have won, whether on the road, at home. Contenders also rans. And with the fact that Jose Altuve went bananas against the Texas Rangers this weekend, the A's, despite still having a sub 500 record, are 1 game out of first. 1 game out of first. And if you were one of those few thousand people who were there, especially Friday for the walk-off, today for the comeback, what you had? You had a great day of baseball. The kind of thing that in 2025 and beyond, that summertime, you're going, oh, God, I wish I could go to the Coliseum and see the green and gold. The ones who showed up had fun. And while, as I said, it's absurd to be talking about standings on the most part, A's fans, you need all the positivity you can get. So, in come the Cardinals. The disappointing Cardinals. You want to put them on their heels? Well, here's a way to do it. Make it 4 series in a row that you wind up with a winning record. Do you know what happens when you start having winning series in a row? You start to have a winning season. And now, here's a little something for you to think about. It is no longer early April. It is mid-April. Get your taxes in. Get your taxes in, okay? I don't care where your political stance. Just get your taxes in, okay? You know, we need to pave our streets, all right? But get them in. Starting tomorrow, the A's and the Cardinals are playing. Old friend Sonny Gray is pitching. Who knows what you're going to get there? And meanwhile, the Texas Rangers are playing the Detroit Tigers. The Rangers are kind of reeling. Tigers are at home. Tigers are a good team. Let's put up a possibility that the Rangers lose to Detroit in Detroit. And I'm conjuring another image right now in the Ouija board of my mind. And let's just say Sonny Gray flops in his return to Oakland and the A's win that first game. We will be in mid-April seeing the A's tied for first. If the A's win their series and the Rangers lose their series, will be heading towards late April, seeing the A's tied for first. Is that absurd? Yes. But wouldn't it be nice to say, in this year where there's going to be lots of ups and downs, that at least for a day that was an opening day, the A's were in first place? It's within their reach. Go out. See the games. Not just for ethereal, spiritual, oh, I wish I can convene with the past sort of way. Do it because you could see the A's win. You're not going to be able to do that after this October, presuming they don't go to the World Series. After this October, you won't be able to do this. Take advantage. Ask the thousands of people who were there, did you have fun? Sure looked like they're having fun. And I'm going to continue having fun pinch hitting here as your new host at least temporarily, of Locked On A's. So follow us at Locked On A's on Twitter or whatever it's called now, and on Instagram. I am your pal Sully. I'm at Sully Baseball on Twitter, Sully Baseball Podcast on Instagram. And be sure to check out Locked On MLB, which I host every day as well. So you get 10 episodes if you follow. You get 10 episodes with me this week if you follow Locked On A's and Locked On MLB. That's the type of podcaster I am. Praising the A's on a fun, winning weekend. This has been Locked On A's. I am your host, Paul Francis Sullivan. Please call me Sully.